In sports trucks, network control rooms, and local TV stations equipped with giant MVS 8000X switchers, complex effects are prepared in advance and stored so they can be quickly executed on air. That same capability is available on the MVS 3000 and 6500 series. Here's how we do it. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to end up with this, except I want it on one button press. Let me show you how hard it can be sometimes to call up an effect like this with all these different components manually. So let's go up to the multifunction module. So when I stored all the components from my original 2-box, I didn't store them all in the same snapshot number. So it's going to make calling it up kind of a pain. So snapshot for ME1, I happen to know, is on number 63. Okay, and obviously that's not the 2-box I want. And I happen to know that user 4, user 1, 2, and 3 happen to be on number 67. Now I've got my 2-box. Well, needless to say, that takes a little too long for my comfort in a live show. So what I want to do is I want to group all these recalls together under one memory system called ShotBox. And to do that, I'm going to go to ShotBox up here on my multifunction module. And I'm going to say I want to go into the edit mode. And I want to store this somewhere. Now I see here in my bank of 70s on ShotBox that they're all empty. So I think I'm going to store this under number 77. So I'm going to go into Edit Enable, and I'm going to hit the Store button. Now when I hit the Store button, first thing you probably noticed here is that the snapshot light came on at the same time as ShotBox. It's a little different color to let me know what's going on here, that ShotBox is the mode I'm in. But it's asking me what I want to store in the ShotBox. So in this case, I want to make sure that user 4, which is the moving background, and user 1, 2, and 3, which are all the different frame memories, in addition to ME1, are all stored in this ShotBox. Now remember, ME1 is a different number than the rest of everything else. So we're in store, I'm going to hit 77. Notice it says E for empty, so I don't write over something by accident. And I'm going to hit Enter. Now the E went away, and we've stored ShotBox number 77. If I go out of Edit Enable, we'll see 77 is now lit up. So no matter what I do, if I come up and I clear the entire Mix Effects bank out, and I recall ShotBox 77, everything is there, including all the frame memories. It'll start the animation, everything. But let's try one other trick. I want to make a different ShotBox. This time, I want to add some keyframe effects to it. Okay, what I want to do now is I'm going to call up a keyframe effect on ME1. What I want to do is I want the effect to start with my son Zach full screen. Then I want it to shrink down, wait for a button press, and then on the next button press, bring up Drew and Kelsey full screen. Now this is something you're going to see all the time on talk shows and newscasts. I just want to program it in as a second ShotBox. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be a little lazy, but that's okay because that's what the computer in the switcher's for. I'm going to go up to my ShotBox menu. I'm going to go up to top menu, and I'm going to hit ShotBox. We can see that number 77 has been stored. And if we go into the Edit menu, we can see that it's calling up Snapshot 63 on ME1 and Snapshot 67 on user 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, what I'm going to do is, since everything except one item is exactly the same as the other ShotBox, I'm going to copy something. So I'm going to copy from 77 to 78. And I'm going to hit Copy. I'm going to say without name, by the way, because if I don't, it's going to make 277. So I'm going to say copy the data from 77 into 78. Now, if we go up and look at my ShotBox, I've got 77 and 78. Now, right now, they're exactly the same. No difference, except it's starting the animation over every time I press it. Here's where I'm going to edit it. So I'm going to go over here to Store Recall, go to number 78, and I'm going to hit Edit. So you see here under ME1, it's calling up Snapshot 63. Well, I don't want that anymore. I'm going to touch that button, and now it gives me all the information I can change on the bottom. Instead of Snapshot 63, I'm going to recall Effect number 2. So it'll be a keyframe effect now. I'm going to hit Store. Now watch what happens. I'm going to call up 77, and there's my 2-box, and I'm going to call up 78, and Zach comes full screen. When I hit Run, it's going to shrink him down so that he can talk like he's been introducing his brother and sister. Notice here the Run has a P on the button now, which means that it's paused and waiting for another keystroke. If I zip over here to the keyframe menu, you can see right here, let me rewind it so you can see it better. When I run, it's going to run the keyframe and it's going to pause and wait for me. Now, After he's introduced his brother and sister, I can hit run again and bring that up so to the focus of the screen. So I want to show you probably the best thing about Shotbox. We've seen how it can store multiple regions from all over the switcher and recall them with the push of a single button. But the real power comes from how much memory there is and how fast I can recall those effects. So I'm up on my multifunction module. You can see that I'm in the Shotbox mode. Now this is the mode that I stay in almost all the time during a show because I've prepped everything to go here. So take a look at this. I've got multiple registers lit up, meaning there's something in them. I've got a couple of registers that are empty. Those are the ones that have no lights inside of them, number 10 and number 6. But look here. The names of my effects are inside every single button. So I know exactly what I'm going to get when I push that button. So if I come over here and hit box number 2, we're going to see my 2 box we've been working with multiple times in this program. I press this, there's my big little. I press this, I have a 3 box. I press this, I have a 4 box. It's that simple. But let me show you something even better. I have multiple banks. It's just not 10. I have a bank select button here. I'm going to go to bank 4, and I've got more things. Here's a sports wipe. I'm going to do another sports wipe, a replay effect, another sports wipe, and a game ender. Then I'm going to go over here to bank number 9, and here is some weather stuff. So weather map maybe, weather radar, do a skycam effect, and then lastly the internet shot before we go to black. So the Shotbox is a very powerful tool to bring your entire switcher together and is extremely easy to use, and you get 99 registers to use all at your fingertips.